This is KRQE News 13 with Dick Niffing and Jessica Goddard.
Answers are coming more quickly now in the BioCare case.
The firm's owner, Paul Montano, is accused of mishandling bodies that were donated for medical research. Medical investigators now know how many bodies are involved, and Kim Vyas reports they've decided they need help in dealing with them all.
The Office of the Medical Investigator has a massive job ahead of it. Last month, bins filled with body parts from BioCare in Albuquerque showed up at a medical waste company in Kansas City. When investigators searched BioCare, they found more parts. Investigators here are working nonstop. Not only do they have to figure out how many bodies they have, they then have to figure out who those bodies belong to.
There's a lot of body parts, upwards of 100. Yeah, in individual parts, yes.
And each of these have to be tested?
Yes, we want to associate. We want to find out which partial remains belongs to another.
OMI doesn't have the ability to do that. It usually sends them to an outside lab, but results take months. So the state crime lab agreed to do it last week.
We've already pretty much completed what we've set out to do. The samples came in last Monday. We did DNA testing on all of the samples. We've developed profiles on the majority of samples other than samples that were decomposed.
Through that testing, the lab has determined there were a total of 45 bodies.
We have associated all of the samples. We have 25 unknown males and 19 unknown females in one individual, which the gender marker did not work.
Much more work still needs to be done. Dr. Loomis says it's comparable to the caseload of last year's murder investigation involving the remains of 11 women found buried on the West Mesa.
In some ways it is comparable because we're trying to obtain records, medical records or ante-mortem before death records to compare to the remains. At least in this BioCare situation, we have a good idea of who the individuals are. We have basically a roster.
Kim Vyas, KRQE News 13.
While they now know 45 bodies are involved, police are still working to determine how many of those families Montano allegedly defrauded. Once they figure that out, the charges against him are expected to be updated.